So I want to introduce our first speaker, Jourdan Dufort. And our first showcase presenter is no stranger to bold ideas and bold action. He's the inventor of the 27-second opener, a sales monster, and a powerhouse entrepreneur. He's built a career as a real estate investor, a relentless deal maker, and when he's not closing business, he's kite surfing, chasing the wind and the waves. I love that. But what really drives him is connection. And through Sakai, his newest venture, he is focused on giving back, creating community, and reimagining how technology can connect people through kindness and acts of service. His mission is simple yet profound: to prove that generosity is not only contagious but world changing. Please join me in welcoming Jourdan Dufort.
Hi there. So I wanted to start with a personal story today of where I came from. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I'll give you the truncated version since we only have 10 minutes here. Read Rich Dad Poor Dad at 15 years old and always wanted to be a real estate investor. And I ended up getting in the Colorado market right before the legalization of cannabis. I got lucky. And with a little bit of knowledge, I was able to retire, semi-retire, where the income from my real estate had overtaken my expenses at 31 years old. And it sounds like a great accomplishment, but at the same time, it left me wondering what's next. And my purpose of being a real estate investor was kind of empty. And I ended up getting back into the startup culture because I was in sales for 15 years. And I moved down to Austin and kind of had a circuitous route that landed me in Mexico. Um, and I was kite surfing in Mexico, and I started to really question this American dream, right? And as now I refer to it jokingly as the American special type of nightmare. There's some serial entrepreneurs out there that really get a kick out of it still, but um, as a lot of people refer to it these days, the hedonic treadmill. And um, yeah, I just think that working until you're 70 or 80 years old, I mean, time is our most valuable asset, and spending it with family, friends, and just doing what you love and what you're passionate about, I think just needs to be looked at. And so I found that the kite surfing instructors were some of the happiest people that I knew. And they were people that base their income on when the wind blows. Try telling that to a serial entrepreneur that tracks and measures everything. They wake up in the morning, and if the wind's not blowing, they're not making money that day. And it made me think there might be something wrong here. And one of the things that I noticed in a lot of Latino cultures is that family and community is really, really important, and they're very, very tightly knit. And so it made me question this. And so after fumbling around, still making money with real estate here and there, um, I was taking care of my ailing father down in Florida, and he ended up every time I went down there, the list got bigger and bigger. Um, Screwing a light bulb, putting a drawer back on track, whatever it was. And it really, if anyone here has ever, if you can just raise your hand, if the right person at the right time has just shown up to give you a helping hand. Has anyone ever experienced that? Great. So I want you to hold on to that feeling. It releases a whole bunch of different feel good cocktail when you give back, right? And when you show up for people. Dopamine and serotonin, it's attached to the reward network in your brain. Oxytocin, which is the love drug, that feel good drug, it gives you the warm and fuzzy when you show up for someone. And even endorphins, which can reduce stress, lift mood. Um, and all of these, I refer to them as the acronym as DOSE, DOSE, which I think is a great little acronym to get your daily dose of the feel good drugs in your brain. And it led me to the idea of how do we build technology to help others? And the one challenge that we've had that we feel like we've cracked the code with, being the founder of Sukai now, an app that connects neighbors helping neighbors and redirects those funds to nonprofits. And so when we think about building technology, the thing that I'm really considering for the future of technology is it increasing kindness? Is it increasing community? And is it getting us more connected? Because today with technology, there's these algorithm loops that we get stuck in. Anyone get stuck in? Just raise your hand if you've watched cat videos or people doing parkour or paragliding or whatever it is. It starts to learn what you like to watch, and we can get stuck in those loops for hours. And so, one of the, I guess, one of the pieces or core pillars of our thesis of what we're looking at to build is how do we leverage that technology to decrease loneliness instead of increasing it, and get people connected more inside their communities and inside of their neighborhoods. And so I just want everyone to consider when you're looking at technology. I mean, the founders of social media platforms don't even let their children on on their own platforms that they've built and have made them ultra wealthy. And it's for these reasons. We are so connected via technology, and yet there's an increase in depression rates and suicide rates in the younger generation. They're comparing themselves to these influencers. There's these parasocial connections that people, it's a known problem, and it's only gotten worse before it's gotten better. So again, what we're looking to do is really inspire and influence and ultimately change human behavior. I know it's a big statement, but getting people connected via these tech platforms in the future, I think is going to change two things that will also frame the conversation, the rest of this conversation. I want to leave you with these two ideas. One of them is micro volunteering. Micro volunteering is these small acts of kindness. And I want all of you to go out and think of, and raise your hand if you can think of one. If you got one, I'm going to give you some ideas. Sending a text to someone that you haven't spoken to in a while, someone that maybe just needs some help, a nice voice note, just say that I'm thinking about you. Handling some groceries, spending an extra 5 seconds to just hold the door open to someone that might be just a little bit older than you. They could be younger than you. They could be carrying groceries. They could be carrying a suitcase. I just did it at Smash Burger earlier today with Michelle Schenk, who I was having lunch with at on the 16th Street Mall. It's amazing how much it will change your day. And so I want to leave you with that micro volunteering. There's these small 5 to 15 minute tasks that you can do to help someone out. It's amazing how ingrained it is in our culture when you say, "Hey, do you need a hand with that?" And people immediately say, "Nope, I got it. No thanks." And I say, "Are you sure? Because I got two free hands and I'm not doing anything for the next couple minutes." And people will come around and they'll say, "Okay, yeah, I guess it'll take me half the time," right? And so the other piece is social impact and social capital. So, social capital is this new form of social capital that I really want to see in the future for people to hang their hat on, right? A way in which we can build technology where people can have peer reviews and hang their hat on not how much money or how many things that they have, but how many things they've done for other people, right? They increase their social capital based on how many people that they've helped and how we can track and measure that. So I'm coming up on time here, and I just want everyone to think about how they can help someone over the next few days, over the next few hours when you leave this call, and get your daily dose of those feel good drugs in your brain. So I'll leave you with that. And one more thing is, if anyone would love to reach out and help and stay connected. I'd love to see a world where people feel more heard, understood, needed, and well. Thank you for your time.